everything was seemingly normal as he came out, and then they were going to get him cleaned up and get him suctioned, and they noticed the coloration. Well, as they were suctioning, trying to get some of the fluid out of his nose and mouth, that's when they noticed the cleft palate, and then from there they realized the difficulty he was having in breathing.
Dr. Wagnon, the night he was born, and the nurses the night he was born were just amazing with him. This isn't a condition that they see real often, and they just took amazing care of him and were so good to explain to us what was going on.
For Shelley and Ed Harris, their sleepless nights aren't punctuated by the usual cries and stirrings of an infant. Their baby, Clinton, doesn't cry and make typical infant sounds. Because of a rare birth defect called Pierre-Robin sequence, Clinton breathes through a tube in his throat called a tracheotomy.
Clinton has a tracheostomy tube, again, to protect his airway, but that trach, because of his underlying anatomy with the floppy airway that he has, which has kind of complicated his overall picture, he may have his trach not just 15, 18 months, but he may have it into the second year of life.
Pierre-Robin sequence typically causes an internal cleft palate, a small lower jaw, and a tendency for the tongue to ball up at the back of the mouth.
With the Pierre-Robin sequence, they have a lot of complications with failure to thrive. They don't gain weight very well. So we know we have feeding problems too with Pierre-Robin sequence. So also at Cook's, when he was there for 6 weeks, they placed a G-tube in to help with feedings. The G-tube allows him to feed through his stomach without eating through his mouth. So we bypass the upper esophagus up in the mouth.
They immediately taught us how to take care of that and do his feedings. After he had the tracheostomy, we moved to another floor to learn how to do every aspect of his care. Anyone that stays with him has to be able to change his tracheostomy tube out in an emergency situation if it were to get plugged off or it were to come out for any reason. I can't drop him off with anyone for 5 minutes that has not been trained to take care of his tracheostomy or to suction him or do whatever needs to be done.
Shelley and Ed, Clinton's parents, have taught me a lot. I've learned so much from them, and in regards to trach care, suctioning, G-tube feedings.
A lot of the fluids that we normally just swallow and deal with on a daily basis, he can't manage them on his own, so we have to suction him pretty frequently through the day. Sometimes it will be every couple of minutes that we need to suction him. Sometimes he'll go for 30 minutes to an hour not needing to be suctioned. We had a night earlier this week that he had gotten sick, had gotten some bronchitis, and we were up probably every 5 to 10 minutes suctioning him throughout the night. Because he can't clear that out on his own. It takes our help to do that. So thank goodness we haven't had a whole bunch of nights like that. But when we do, they're pretty rough on us. He's such a huge blessing, but of course we didn't expect all this to happen. But lots and lots of prayer. That's all that we could credit to get us through it.
And just the power of God's presence through this whole ordeal. Yeah, I mean, we had down times and up times, but the neat thing about it to me was that at no point both of us were never down at the same time. We always had, one of us was always strong for the other one to lean on.
Clinton's days include the regular activities of a 1-year-old, learning to walk, playing with his mom and dad, exploring his world, and making his own sort of music. Music that's ever so sweet to those who love him.
He's just the toughest little guy we've ever met. He's an inspiration to us because lots of the things that we have put him through or he's been through and that we still have to do to him are not very comfortable or not much fun, and he will take it for just a minute and cry for just a second, whatever it may be, and just immediately after that he may have tears rolling down his face and he's laughing and playing again, and he's just awesome. He's amazing.